Hello everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you when should you truly pull up for your actual CDL road test. Now if you're watching this video, that means you probably want to get a CDL license, which means you're going to have to take a CDL road test in order for that to happen. The CDL road test is going to be split into 3 different sections, and the entire test takes about 2.5 hours to complete. One person who recently took the test, he was actually studied as an engineer, got his degree becoming an engineer. He went to the military and all that stuff as well. He said that this was the most difficult test that he's ever taken in his entire life. So it's definitely not something you want to you kind of want to brush over. That's why we here are one of the only schools, if not the only school, that can actually guarantee that we get you that license. How that program works is we're going to give you over 100 hours of training plus unlimited tries at the test. So you're going to keep going for the test until you pass at no extra cost to you. So even though you get nervous for the second or first test, no big deal. If you fail because you make a silly mistake, we'll keep taking you until you pass at no extra cost. But that's neither here nor there, so let's get right into the training. So today's training is when should you actually pull up. So the road test is split into 3 different parts. First part of the test is all about inspecting the truck. That alone takes 1 hour to complete. Today we're going to be talking about the second part of the test, which is about parking the tractor trailer. Here you're going to have to understand how to park the trailer up to 6 different ways. So when you take the test with us, the way that the whole parking maneuvers part works is the more things you do wrong, the more points you accumulate. So anytime you do something wrong, you get higher points. The higher the points, the worse it is. Kind of like the game of golf. The lower the points that you have, the better off you are. That's why this number 12 is here. So once you get to number 12, your test is over. You fail completely. How do you get points? Well, we get points for doing pretty much just one of 2 things. Either you pull up excessively, which means after the free pull-ups that we give you, or that the state gives you, I should say, you pull up more times, you're going to accumulate points. Or if you start crossing over lines or hitting any type of cones, then you get multiple points. Now, I'm not allowed to tell you on how many points you get if you hit a line or hit a cone, but I can tell you that every time you pull up, after the free pull-ups, you're going to get one pull-up for 1 point per pull-up. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing when is the proper time to pull up on all the different maneuvers. So the first maneuver that you're going to have to perform is called the straight line backing. This is going to test your skills on your ability to back up the vehicle straight 100 feet. So the way it's going to work is, say that this is your vehicle, you're then going to pull up straight until you've crossed the first line. Then the examiner is going to tell you, okay, back up straight until the front of the vehicle has passed the last set of cones. So here you're going to back up straight all the way. If you did everything correctly, you shouldn't touch any lines or hit any cones, and stop when you get back over here. Now, the question here is, when should you pull up? So if you were rocking and rolling and you're not even coming close to any type of lines, you don't have to pull up at all. You can just keep going straight. And this first maneuver, you're going to have 1 free pull up and 1 get out and look. That being said, if you start backing up a tractor trailer and you understand that the trailer is not backing up the way you want it to, because the trailer will never back up straight, and you start getting too close to the line, you might have to think, hey, maybe I can just squeeze it in and turn it real quick so I don't hit the line. That is definitely the wrong answer to have. So what I want you to do is, anytime you're getting close to any type of line there, don't try to squeeze it in. Don't try to maneuver this thing around. All you got to do is pull yourself up, straighten yourself out. As you're pulling up, make sure you're checking out your mirrors. A lot of people make this simple mistake where they just pull up, but they don't pull it up to help them, right? So when you're pulling up, use that to help yourself out. Make sure the entire vehicle is straight, and then you can try again. It's always going to be more beneficial to pull up rather than hitting a line or hitting a cone. The only time that it's probably I would recommend hitting that line is, say you're all the way at the end and you look something like this, and all of a sudden all you have to do, back up straight, and you're going to hit 1 line. At least you're backed up straight. You don't have to pull up anymore. You're behind here. Even though you hit the line or hit the cone, you completed this course. But pretty much every single time besides that, it's always more beneficial to actually pull up. So the next maneuver we're going to talk about is offset backing. So let's change up the course a little bit, and let's see what offset backing is going to look like. So offset backing, you're going to have 2 free pull-ups and 2 get out and looks during this maneuver. How is this going to work? So say that we're inside this lane here. The objective is you're going to pull up straight, and then you're going to back into this lane right over here. The goal is that the front of the vehicle has passed the first set of cones. It does not matter what the back of the vehicle does when it comes to the test itself. So let's talk about the pull-ups. Now, everything in front of these sets of cones does not matter. So you can use this entire space here. You're not going to get marked for any encroachments or touching over any lines. So what usually happens is you're going to pull up, you're then going to back in, and most people kind of get screwed up someplace around here before they even get onto the cones. So a very, very easy thing to do. You're going to pull up, just pull up straight. Again, remember to check the mirrors on both sides of the vehicle itself. When you are pulling up, make sure that you see the cones on either side of the vehicle. So then pretty much all you have to do is straight line back the entire way. Don't make it harder for yourself. You don't have to pull up and then kind of get all cockeyed and try to bring this thing in too close, and then you're going to hit the line or hit the cone. Again, if you get even close to the line or the cone, it's always, always, always better to pull up. Remember that. If you're getting close to a line or a cone, pull up. It's always better, it's more beneficial for you, and it's going to make it easier for you to actually pass. The other way that you can get points on this test is if you don't fully understand the directions. So for instance, say that the directions say that the front of the vehicle has to be behind the first set of cones, and then you're going to tell the examiner you're done by honking the horn. However, if you stop here and the front of the vehicle is in front of the cones, then you get a lot of points associated. Remember, 12 points you fail, and you definitely don't want to get to those 12 points. So make sure you fully understand the directions. The examiner, if you take the test with us, is actually going to ask you, hey, do you have any questions? And if there's any questions at all, make sure you ask. Here at Driving Academy, we actually have the ability to give you this road test itself at our own third-party testing site. This gives us the ability to test you no matter what state you're coming from. We've tested people from Hawaii, from Alaska, from Texas, from many, many different states, and we can help you out as well no matter what state you're coming from. So that's pretty much the offset backing itself, right? So whether you're going to go to the left or to the right, it's all the same process. So you're going to back up. Once you kind of get close, make it easier for yourself. Pull up straight. Make sure you're looking at both mirrors. All you have to do is just do a straight line back to make it as easy as possible. The next maneuver that we can test you on would be called the parallel parking. So the way parallel parking works is we're going to give you 15 extra feet depending on how much the vehicle length is, right? So of course this is not the scale, but the objective here is you're going to pull up and you're going to back into this lane here. Now remember, you're going to have a tractor trailer if you're going to go for your CDL Class A, which means it's not as easy as your car. That being said, when should you pull up? What's the best maneuvers here? So make sure you pull up straight. You're going to line up the back tires with this cone here. From there, you're going to start your maneuver. Usually what happens is people start their maneuver and they start getting close to this line here. Once you start getting close, you pull up. If you have enough space in front of you, all you have to do is pull up straight. And the objective here is, as long as the entire vehicle is within the box, it does not matter if you're crooked or straight or anything like that. If your entire vehicle is within the box, you can stop. This maneuver itself, you're going to have 2 free pull-ups and 2 get-out looks. After the 2 free pull-ups, that's when that 1 point per pull-up comes up. Now, on this maneuver, if you start doing a lot of these things, say you're in the box, but you're not perfect, or maybe you're a little bit on the line, so what you want to do, you want to pull up and then back up, pull up. Every time you pull up inside the box, still counts as a pull-up, so just be careful of that. Remember, you don't have to be perfect, just the entire vehicle has to be inside the box. So by the time you're done, make sure you save at least one of those get-out looks to do it right before you honk the horn to let us know that you're done. Do a quick rock around, and as long as the entire vehicle is inside this dotted line and inside all of these lines in between these cones here, you're ready to rock and roll. Again, remember, I can't stress this enough. As you're pulling up, make sure you check both mirrors, make sure you're helping yourself as you pull up, and never get close to a line or hit a cone at all. And the only time that it's kind of, I guess, a cheating way or a way to make your life a little bit easier, what some people do, I've seen in the past, is they back up, they cross over this line, and then they just pull up straight, right? Technically, if you cross over this line, you're going to get deducted those multiple points for that line. But if you did the other 2 maneuvers, which means your straight line and your offset perfectly, and you didn't have to do any pull-ups or hitting any lines, then this might just be an easy way to kind of get it done. But that's up to you. Do you want to take that risk? I don't know. That's up to you. The last maneuver itself is going to be alley docking. So the way alley docking is going to work is a little bit different. So there's going to be a set of cones. There's going to be the alley right over here. and there's going to be a boundary line right up ahead. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pull up and be parallel to the outer boundary line, and then back your vehicle into this space. Now the objective here is you're going to have two free pull-ups and 2 get out looks again, and the bumper of your vehicle has to be within 3 feet of the back of the alley. Okay, so that is where the final position of this vehicle should be. So when should you use your pull-up? Well, of course you're going to pull up here, but that doesn't count. You're just setting yourself up. Usually people either undershot it or overshoot it, which means you start looking something like this. If you're starting to look something like this and you can't see this cone anymore, much easier just to pull up again. Now, if you're starting to be crooked and you look something like this, easiest thing to do, pull up, making sure you check out both mirrors, making sure that you can see both cones on either side, and then you're just going to back up straight. Extremely important you don't cross over this line. If you do, the examiner is going to blow the whistle on you, which means you cross over the line, which means you get multiple points. But very, very important that you save one of the get out looks to make sure that the back bumper is in between the back 2 lines here. So the official is you have to be within 3 feet of the outer boundary line. There's going to be a dotted line signifying where that boundary line is supposed to start. Make sure the entire bumper is like that, because if you're only part way in, you're not going to count, because the entire bumper has to be there. If you don't get that final position correct, it could be the biggest difference between you passing and failing your test. The other thing that can automatically fail you, like I said, if you don't fully understand the directions, is if you get out more than the times that you're allowed. So straight line backing, you're allowed 1 get out and look. Everything else, you're allowed 2 get out and looks. If you get out that 3rd time for any of those maneuvers, or a 2nd time for straight line backing, and you did not finish the maneuver yet, and you get out before you finish, that's going to be an automatic fail since you're not following directions. Again, we're not the ones who make the rules, we just have to follow the rules and enforce them for the test itself. So I hope this video taught you something today about how to pass the parking portion and when to pull up during your CDL road test. Now remember, the rule of thumb in most cases, if not all cases, is always before you hit a line or hit a cone, pull up. And that's even the case if you're doing something in real life. Just think about it. Before you're going to hit a car, because you can't see it, what should you do? Pull up. There's no difference between the CDL road test, a line, or a cone. Could be a curb, could be a car, could be a person, could be a wall. Who knows what it could be? Just treat them like so. If you treat them like that, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to pass this test. Now, if you want to get yourself some training to make sure that you can practice this, remember a tractor trailer is completely different than a car, completely different than a box truck. If you've been driving any kind of bigger box truck or smaller box truck, it's a whole new world, because the trailer will never back up straight. That being said, give us a call, 908-525-3609. We have training programs available no matter what part of the country that you live in. And like I said before, we can actually give you the CDL road test. We're going to be taking you to our test in our own third-party testing site and testing you on all of these different maneuvers itself. The way that process would work is that we're going to give you all the training itself, then we'll take you to the test. If you pass the test, then you're going to wait 1 week, go back to your home state to pick up your actual CDL license from your home state. You don't have to transfer any paperwork over to Jersey or to Pennsylvania or anything like that. So that being said, if you have any questions, give us a call, 908-525-3609. Our courses are always updating and our prices are always changing, so you want to make sure that you contact us or take a virtual school tour at cdldrivingacademy.com/tour. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com/tour. Thanks. Have a great day.